What's up, comic fans? And it's time for the new comic book haul plus mini review, alright? Where we go through some books. I got some 50 centers. We go through the books I picked up this week, and I give you like a little tidbit of what everything's about. And we're gonna do all of that right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. Let's start off with some 50 centers. Cool. Right off the bat, we've got Batman Beyond Universe number 3. Kyle Higgins worked on this. This is a 50 center. I believe this is the first appearance of Rewire. Alright, pretty thick book. Pretty cool art. Look, we got a Shazam appearance in there, right? So, cool. Looks like an anthology, so it looks like there's a couple of stories in here, a couple different stories. There's some Batman Beyond action. Alright, and yeah, this seems to 50 cents. I think I see some color rub on the cover there, but whatever, 50 cents. Cool book. And in case you don't know, when I do my 50 centers, I try to do themes. So this week's theme is Batman, or at least, loosely connecting. But that was Batman Beyond Universe. This is The Batman with the classic, looks like Kelly Jones cover here. I mean, I say classic, but who knows if it actually is classic. But again, 50 cents. You got Doug Munch, Kelly Jones. I think John Beatty also worked on this book. Yeah, John Beatty was the inker, Kelly Jones penciler, Doug Munch writer. Ooh, and a classic Clearasil ad on the back. Who remembers having to use Clearasil when you're a kid? Alright, next up we've got Batman 579 with Larry Hama. I don't know, there's an Orca appearance in here. I don't know if it's a first appearance or not, but you definitely have Orca in the room. Boom. Orca. So that's pretty cool. And what do we got here? Got a video game ad for PlayStation. There we go. That's Speed Punks. Very cool. Alright. And then maybe this is the second appearance of Orca. We got Batman 580. And again, another Larry Hama book here. Boom. And open up to something random. There we got a Bubble Yum ad in there. Alright. Oh, an Iron Soldier on the back. Alright guys, so those were the 50 centers. Now we're going to get into the books I got this week. Alright, so these are books I picked up on July 10th, right? So, second week of July. And yeah, here we go. These I think came out a couple of weeks ago, but they finally came into the shop. Or by a couple of weeks, I mean the previous week and the week before that. I don't remember. This is the third print of X-Men 97. This is the VHS cover. So I think that's pretty cool. I've been trying to collect the animation covers, but that one is clearly the VHS. The animation's on there. But here's X-Men 97 number 3, the animation cover. Cool. Now let's get into some books from this week. We have X-Men number 1. This was a pretty good book. So the X-Men, or this team of the X-Men led by Psylocke, Beast, Magneto is in this group. They are in Alaska. I don't know why I opened this up. It's got a black cover. A lot of chance for color rub. They're in Alaska now. They've taken over a Sentinel factory. And, they're still doing their world-saving missions. They're trying to find mutants and save them. And also, still try to help the world while trying to, endear themselves to this community in Alaska that had a factory that was building Sentinels. Now there's a lot of people there who are like, well, we built the Sentinels, but it was the only way we can work and make money here. So now you got a town that's struggling to survive financially because the factory shut down and the X-Men have moved in. And the X-Men are like, this used to be a Sentinel factory, so you understand the symbolism here by us taking it as our home. So we've got a whole dynamic of trying to create community and also being heroes. All right, so it's a fun read. Check it out. I got the John Tyler Christopher cover, the negative space with magic, pretty cool. There's also a Peach Momoko magic cover if you're into that, and there are a ton of other covers that look pretty dope. All right, let's keep moving. We got another negative space cover. We got Kid Venom #1. All right, so if you're into like Japanese storytelling with monsters, which they call onis, and kind of a different type of storytelling, very picturesque, big pictures, big words. All right, this is a lot, very close to manga. It's about as close to manga as you're gonna get in a comic. So if you like manga, maybe give it a try. It may be too much comic for you, or it may not, or it may be too much manga, depending on which side of the of the line you fall on, right? If you're more of a manga person, you might like this better. If you're more of a comic person, you might, you might not. It depends. It really depends on what your preference is. But this is the Kid Venom, again, John Tyler Christopher negative space variant. It's an interesting read, all right? We don't really get to see Kid Venom until the last page. Basically, there's a group of samurai or warriors, let's call them warriors, who go around defeating the Oni, these symbiote creatures that, just are evil. And usually they have a host, and, they defeat the creature and save the host. Sometimes the host isn't evil, it's just that the symbiote's taken them over and, it's turned them evil. Now they've come across a whole army of symbiotes without hosts, and they're really like, how do we defeat this? So that's kind of where we are in that story. And not only are they trying to defeat these symbiotes, but these symbiotes are like building the size of buildings, right? So they're all like Carnage-esque bug-like creatures that are the size of buildings. Ooh, there. Next up, we have the Amazing Spider-Man 53, and somehow this snuck through without me reading it. So when this video is over, I am going to read Amazing Spider-Man number 53. It does look like, Peter, when we last left him, kind of had a moment of clarity, if you will, thanks to Chasm. Was kind of separated from the Spider-Goblin, but the Spider-Goblin was starting to infect him again and starting to take him over. So Peter was on a mission to kind of kick some butt and possibly find a cure. We also got that Disney Avengers Assemble What If 60 Years of the Avengers variant copy. These things are killing me now. I've got so many of them. It's like I thought they were only going to be a limited run, and then they were so popular they just keep pumping them out. So at some point I may have to say no mas. No mas. We have the Ultimates 2. This is a variant edition. This is with Midas. He's actually, in the old Iron Man suit made of gold. So the Ultimates have now formed a team, and they are off to save America, and they basically attack the White House to get this guy Midas out of there and save the world. They find America Chavez is hooked up to kind of like the power grid. So they've disconnected her and saved her, but Midas left them with a warning, like, you disconnect her and a lot of America is going to lose their powers. So, you lose the power because she's part of the power grid and everything. So we have to see ultimately what the Ultimates' decision to unplug America Chavez from the grid is going to do in this book. I don't know, should be interesting. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the next issue, see what happens. They're really moving fast in this issue too. It's like, form a team, find new recruits, attack the White House. What? Everything's happening quickly, and we're only on issue 2. So, Star Wars, Ahsoka. This is the, I think this is cover A. Yeah, this is cover A. This is the David Nakayama DNA cover. with Ahsoka. All right. First appearance of Balin Skull and his apprentice. I always forget her name. Pop in here. If you want a retelling of the TV show, but in comic book form, that's exactly what this is. Okay. Have you seen the TV show and you think you're gonna find a new story in this? You're not. So don't pick this up. This is pretty much what the TV show has done, maybe with a little bit extra added. That's all I can say about that. So yeah, you know, they're looking for people. They find a space nap. You know, watch the show if you haven't seen the show. I'm not gonna ruin it. But next week, or the next time Ahsoka comes out, we're gonna talk about it. All right, we're gonna switch gears. That was Marvel. Now we're off to DC. We have Superman Action Comics 1067. All right, Superman Superstars. So this isn't tied into any of that Absolute Power stuff. This is a standalone. I'm not sure if they did this. Gail Simone took over the writing. I'm not sure if they did that, so you know they can focus on other books for Absolute Power or not. But these books are kind of written as an homage, right, to Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. So the things that happen in here, very reminiscent of that style of writing. Very cool, just, you know, with a modern twist. But the stories told in here, there's a story that's a prequel, and then I think the backup story, Lois and Clark and Love and Work, I think that one could be a prequel, could be current times. It just seems like it is current times because Lois has taken over as editor of the Daily Planet. Alright, so good read. If you were a big fan of Superman back, oh man, I can't even, well, when was Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams? That was what, 70s and 80s, maybe the 60s. So if you're a Superman from back then, from those decades, this might be the book for you. It reads more as like a 70s or 60s type comic. Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 1. I thought it was going to be more about the Amazos that were taking powers, but it's not. It's about the Shazam family, all right? So basically, they're hiding in I think it's the Rock of Destiny or something like that. And these guys, the Amazos, are after, you know, the Shazam peeps to get their powers. Black Adam shows up, almost gets his powers stolen. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happening with that whole Shazam crew in this book. Didn't realize it was Shazam centric, but if you're a Shazam fan, this might be for you. If you're not a Shazam fan, then I don't know, keep on walking. But overall, good writing, good art. Really liked it. They just have to find a way without their full powers to kind of overcome these Amazo bots. And you can see they have some faults, so that'll probably play later on in the book. This is a 7-issue series, so we'll see where this issue 2 leads us. We're now going to the indies. We have an Image book here. We have Monolith, number 3 of 3, kind of the retelling or the origin story of Monolith. Not a lot I can tell you about the book because it is a prequel. There really isn't a lot set up except how Monolith may be a big savior of the Earth. All right, so I guess that's a big thing, right? We can tell you that, and how this leads up to Monolith's appearances in the Spawn books. Okay, so there you go. There's I think an appearance of a different type of Spawn in this one too. So there's all sorts of interesting stuff. We have Transformers number 10. So we've had all the Decepticons, or most of the Decepticons from Cybertron, kind of make it to Earth. There was a battle. They kind of closed the gate. The Decepticons regroup, and now they want to bring Cybertron to Earth. They don't want to just have a bridge that shuttles them back and forth. They want Cybertron to be right there next to the Earth so they can just take all the resources and put them on Cybertron. Sounds pretty crazy to me, but looks like It's in the works. All right. Also, the Transformers saved a pretty big bot from back in the day. If you don't remember him from the cartoons, I don't know what you were watching, but we had Ultra Magnus. All right, Ultra Magnus shows up. So he looks beat as all heck. There are some prisoners of war right now with the Decepticons, and Shockwave has them, and Shockwave is known, in this book at least, to be very, very brutal, like commit war crimes, like all sorts of stuff. So looks like and after they see Ultra Magnus, it looks like the Autobots are like, we gotta go save our people. So hopefully, it doesn't turn out too bad for those Autobots. Last but not least, we have Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. This is Jerry Dugan. Is it Riley Brown? Yeah. On this book. Very cool. We've got all sorts of warriors in this book. We've got barbarians. Mostly we have a gunslinging Western guy and a samurai, right? Female samurai type. We have an old school gun wielding guy from Asia, probably of Indian origin in this book. And then there's barbarians and all sorts of other Spartans. And basically it's a battle of the ghouls versus those who aren't quite ghouls yet. And this place has been referred to as Purgatory. So both our main protagonists have died, or at least that's what we're led to believe, and they are in Purgatory right now, kind of fighting to save their souls, if you will. I guess, and also just spending whatever time they need to spend in Purgatory before they go to heaven or hell. So there you go, guys. That was my new comic book day haul plus reviews. We have some 50 centers in there. All right, let me know what you think. Throw it down in the content, all right, and in the comments, not in the content. But if you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, Go ahead, throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. Do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for this week's books. Peace. Deuces.
So every week when we do 50 centers, we have a theme, and this week's theme is going to be I picked up some ratio variants, and we're going to get it all.